Good morning, everyone. This is the Skype for Business recap, and my name is Josh Blaylock. Today is not Friday. Today is Tuesday of the following week, and this is kind of the second time in about 3 episodes that I've been very late. This time, though, it was due to sickness, and I'm still trying to get over it. So please bear with the voice. It's still a little bit raw, and I'll try to get through this sounding not so congested and cruddy. But yeah, it's been a fun run with the sickness, and while I hoped I'd be over it by now, the rest of the family's now got it, and then so there's no sleeping at night, and it's just all the fun that comes with that. It was one of those, go and start building out your home gym and do really good with your workouts for a week, go out of town to visit coworkers, and in Nashville, come back with a nasty virus and don't get over it for however long. And so, yeah, that's how it goes. You always have the best intentions starting out working out again, and something like this just puts you right flat on your butt. So, what can I say? At any rate, as you can see, I went a little more Western than usual, though. I saw this handy little shirt in a store recently, and I thought, hey, that looks like it goes pretty good with the hat and the boots that I got last time I was in Nashville. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and grab that. But I guess I'm being the epitome of a tourist when it comes to being in Nashville. But, when in Rome, right? So, given that I'm so late, there's obviously a lot of time to go over the content that I had to talk about. And I've made a pretty healthy list here. I'm going to try to stick to content that was just within the week that I should have been broadcasting for, rather than anything that's happened since then. Because I'm going to do another video on Friday to try to get myself back on schedule, and then I'll hit all that content that's happened in the week prior to that. So yeah, that's what we'll do there. Another thing with the background there, Greg in Sydney, you'll notice that the table is still broken. So this week, I'm going to go ahead and blame that on the sickness. That's my excuse for now. Next week, I'll try to come up with something else, because it'll probably still be broken. But thanks for noticing it, and I wondered when someone was going to comment. So good attention to detail there. All right. Now that I've kind of chatted a bit here, let me... All right. Coffee. It's seriously a lifeblood for me, and especially today, it's a head-throbbing kind of day, still clearing stuff out, and kids keeping us, coffee is a must. Okay, first thing on my list here, right up at the top, this was kind of a cool big thing for me. If you guys have run into a character on Twitter known as Flinchbot, his Twitter handle is @Flinchbot, he's actually a Michael Tressler, and Michael Tressler has put out a new book called Enterprise Voice in Skype for Business Server 2015. A very comprehensive book. This is not an ebook. This is, although it's available in e-format through Amazon, I believe you can get it, the Kindle version, etc. But this is available in paperback. A couple different ways to order it. One through Create Spaces, and then through Amazon itself. And I've went ahead and ordered my first copy as soon as he put that very first announcement on Twitter. I was on that and ordering it, and so that should be on its way. He told me I may be the very first order, so I'm honored and can't wait to get it here and start digging in. The book aims to be the most comprehensive guide on anything and everything to do with enterprise voice and Skype for Business. It is, from what I understand, a pretty thick book. There's a lot there, and having had a chance, the pleasure of meeting Michael, spending a little time with him, doing a little bit of chatting about Skype for Business related topics, etc. I expect this is going to be a pretty cool and pretty comprehensive book, and very educational. I'm particularly excited because I'm one of those people who has tried to continue to develop myself, learn more, make myself better, but enterprise voice has always been one of those areas that I can't claim to be a really solid SME in at this point. My knowledge is a little more topical, And when I do get beyond topical, it's because I'm spending time really diving into that component prior to addressing it. And it's a standing goal of mine to get much more in-depth knowledge of enterprise voice. Of course, the best way to do that is hands-on, but the more and more you dig into technical documents or books and comprehensive guides like this, the much better your chances are. So I'm very excited to be digging in there, and I'd highly encourage any of you who need to brush up on enterprise voice, or just like me, view that as an area you need to really strengthen up on. Check this out. Go grab your copy and spend some time digging into it. I am guessing it's really going to be a helpful tool. The 2 links I've included is one, again, this is going to be in the description of the video on YouTube. The purchasing and description of the book, that link goes to his website, which is going to be flinchbot.com /EVS4B. And then the second copy or link that I'm going to provide is a discount code link. So this morning he actually reached out to me and said, hey, when mentioning the book, can you please provide this discount code? Now the discount code is only going to be available through createspace.com, so you have to go and order the book through there to get the discount. I am going to include the link to CreateSpace, and I'm also going to include the discount code in the description of the video on YouTube. For your convenience, I will say it here verbally once, but you please reference the description on YouTube for actually grabbing that code and copying it. It is XJQUU4TB. And I don't know exactly how much that discount code gets you, but it's a discount, right? So why not? At any rate, great job, Michael. Really looking forward to digging into that once it gets here. The next item, the Skype show aired last week. I believe it was the 14th. Was Monday the 14th? Yeah, I think Monday was the 14th. So this was the 3rd episode, and again, had a great lineup on special guests. We had both Michael LaMontagne, whose Twitter handle is @RealtimeUC. He is a MVP, Office Servers and Services MVP. And he was speaking about the road to client deployment. So he made that presentation. The second guest was Rui Maximo. And Rui has a Twitter handle of @Rui, RUI, _Maximo. Rui, I've had the pleasure of talking to several times as I was evaluating a product of his a while back for an ethical wall and digging into that. Great tool. He's got a really nice set of tools there that you can go check out the full breadth that his company offers at link-solutions.com. And the ethical wall was the key for us when I was evaluating, and it was a very cool tool, very well done. Rui has a solid background in Link, Skype for Business, OCS, LCS. He started way down the line at Microsoft with this and has a very good historical knowledge of it. So great guy to hear from on the topic of security. And he talked about Skype for Business security, and that's his product base revolves around security-related products. So great job on the show, guys. The link I'm including is to the blog post on the skypeshow.com for episode 3, but it looks like Mark Vale, who is one of the co-hosts of the show, at Unified Vale on Twitter, he has still got to get the link up there for episode 3, but you can go download the deck at this time and read the outline of the show. And then once he's got that link up there, he'll probably also have that out on Microsoft's Channel 9, out on MSDN. So next Skype for Business show is set up to be April 4th at 7 p.m. GMT. And again, 2 great guys lined up for that. First up, Thomas Poet, another Office Servers and Services MVP, very well known throughout the community, very well presented person. He's going to be discussing geographically dispersed edges and Cloud CCE, Cloud Connector Edition. So that should be a great topic. And then the second guy, Mr. Jamie Stark, who we've talked about a couple times on the show. He is the technical product manager for Skype for Business over at Microsoft. He is a frequent host on the Skype for Business meeting broadcasts that they've started doing over various topics. And so he is going to be on there talking about some of the newer features that have come to Skype for Business recently. He's a cool guy. It should be very great to hear from him, and looking forward to seeing them on the show next month. Lastly here, I wanted to touch on SEFAUtil Server Community Edition for Skype for Business Server. That was released on March 14th. Now, this product is put out by Matt Landis, another Office Servers and Services MVP, and his team. We talked about this a while back, I think when he was just starting to talk about it and preview it, but it's out there available now. One of the links I've got is the link for his for the gallery out at TechNet, where he's made the MSI available for this tool. What the tool does is it manages and migrates Skype for Business server user settings with PowerShell and performance. Settings can be managed, including forwarding, delegates, team call, SimRing, presence, and note. If it sounds like I just read that straight off of his gallery at TechNet description, I did. So who says it better than the person putting out the product, right? So that's a general description of it. What the tool aims to do is replace the SEFAUtil tool that's currently out there, bringing a few additional features. First off, it runs as a service rather than just an EXE, and this brings really significant performance benefits. The second thing is that it can be administered via PowerShell, which is looking to be kind of a benchmark for any product out there that wants to maintain relevance or prove its place in the product portfolio or the whole field. So yeah, can be managed via PowerShell. And the last item, individual updates can be made via a commands typed into a bot through an instant message window. So whereas the tool via PowerShell, etc., allows you to make these user changes to a larger range of users via PowerShell, if you're just making changes to a one-off user here and there, you can actually open up an IM window directed at this bot that's been set up for the program, type in the command to the bot, and that bot via an IM window will actually update that user's settings. So that's pretty slick, pretty cool. I've also included a link that will tell you, that will give you kind of a preview of that product in action. Little YouTube video, I believe, is going to be what you're going to be looking at. The link goes to Matt's blog out at windowspbx.blogspot.com, and there is more information about the tool out there if you want to dig through his recent posts on that. But that is it. Those are the few topics that I wanted to touch on this for the last week. So there's more that's happened since then, stuff that we'll try to talk about on Friday. Friday's right around the corner here, so we'll have another one of these shows out in a few days. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for bearing with me. For those of you that noticed my earlier tweet letting you guys know I was sick, and that's why I was delayed, thank you for the well wishes and the get well soon. I feel like it's kind of strung along here, but I'm emerging, I think, from the haze. So we'll get there with lots and lots of coffee, and hopefully this Friday it can be a little bit perkier, and we'll have some good content for you. Thanks for watching this week, guys. Thank you for sharing, for retweeting, for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thanks for all the support. You guys have a great rest of your week, and we will talk to you in a few days on this Friday. Adios.